a young man approached a Zen master, looking troubled. "Master," he said, "my mind is always racing. I can't seem to stop thinking. I worry about everything past, present, future, and it keeps me up at night. How can I find peace when my thoughts are constantly overwhelming me?" The Zen master looked at him calmly and nodded. "I see. Come, walk with me," he said, and they strolled together through the quiet garden. As they walked, the young man continued, "Master, I've tried everything to calm my mind: meditation, breathing exercises, even silence, but nothing works. My thoughts keep spiraling out of control." The Zen master smiled gently and stopped beside a small pond. He motioned for the young man to sit. "Look at the water," he said. "What do you see?" The young man peered into the pond, where the surface was rippled by the wind. "I see the water moving, disturbed by the breeze." The master nodded. "And what happens when the wind stops?" The young man thought for a moment. "The water becomes still again." "Exactly," the master replied. "Your mind is like this pond. When you are disturbed by your thoughts, your mind becomes like the water, agitated and unclear. But just as the water settles when the wind ceases, so too does the mind find peace when you stop pushing and struggling with your thoughts." The young man looked puzzled. "But how do I stop the thoughts? They keep coming, one after another." The Zen master smiled. "You cannot stop the wind from blowing, nor can you stop your thoughts from arising. But you can choose not to chase after them. You can choose not to stir the water. When you notice your thoughts, simply observe them without attaching yourself to them. Let them come and go, like clouds passing through the sky." The young man's eyes widened as he began to understand. "So, instead of trying to stop my thoughts, I just let them be. I don't have to follow them?" "Correct," the master said. "Your struggle with overthinking only adds to the disturbance. The more you try to control your thoughts, the more you become caught in them. But when you allow your thoughts to come and go without judgment or attachment, your mind becomes still, like the water after the winds has passed." The young man sat quietly, contemplating the master's words. He realized that his efforts to control his thoughts had only created more noise in his mind. Instead, he could simply observe them without getting lost in them. After a long silence, the Zen master stood and gently placed a hand on the young man's shoulder. "You do not need to conquer your thoughts. You need only to stop fighting them. When you stop struggling, peace will come naturally, like stillness after a storm." The young man bowed, a sense of calm settling over him. He stood and walked away from the pond, not with the expectation of silencing his mind, but with the understanding that peace comes not by force, but by letting go. And so, his journey toward inner peace began not by overthinking